Today on the RC Network, it's time to fire up the budget series. We're back at it. This is a 1/8 scale buggy, so let's crack this thing open and get this budget series started. It's Rich here from the RCNetwork.com, and it's time for another budget series. This time we're going to be focusing on a 1/8 scale buggy. Now, if you guys remember the last budget series, we did a 1/10 scale two-wheel drive buggy, which was pretty popular. That was based on the Atomic V2 MR. Pretty popular little build. I think I got the kit for about 80 bucks, which was just awesome to get it for that cheap. It really helps the budget out. And with this Hyper VS from Hobao, we're going to keep the cost down. A lot of builds here at the RC Network, we go into the stratosphere on budget, but with this one, we're going to keep it down. So whenever you start talking about 1/8 scale electric buggies, you can pretty much call it $1,000 RC. There's typically a lot of money involved in building up these cars because typically the kit alone is anywhere between $500 to $750 depending on what brand you pick. And then after that, electronics and tires and wheels and you name it, that goes into it. You're at least $1,000 up to $1,500 sometimes building up a pretty decent race buggy. So why did I pick the Hobao Hyper VS? Well, it's their newest, latest, and greatest 8 scale buggy kit. And what's so nice about this thing is Hobao is kind of a sleeper product. It doesn't have a lot of driver support, but with that you get a lot of value inside the box, which is pretty nice. Now these are distributed worldwide now. You can pick them up at Tower Hobbies, I believe, as well. And this thing just has lots of quality inside the box. So this is a kind of one size fits all box, but inside of this box here, we do have the clear body. This is the electric version, and it's the 80% roller. So it doesn't have any electronics inside of it, and you do have to paint the body and do just minor assembly to get it all up and running. Now, if you remember back to the budget series with the Atomic V2 MR, I ended up giving that one away. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this Hyper VS. We're gonna build it up pretty nicely, have some very moderately priced items in here that just scream quality and scream durability. And with that, let's get on with this unboxing. So no seals on this box. It's just pretty much a open up the box type of item and see what you get inside. Everything's nicely packaged inside. It's a 80% roller. There's not going to be a whole lot of loose items or parts, but right off we have the owner's manual right here for the Hyper VS. Pretty decent instruction manual. I do see an antenna tube poking out of there at the top. Next item right here is a pretty decent wing. This is a standard downforce wing. Has like a 2-level, which is pretty nice. We have some other bits and pieces, including the motor mount right there, because remember, you do have to add your own electronics on this guy. You do have some zip ties and some other nooks and crannies inside of there. We do get 4 wheels, 4 tires, and 4 inserts with this 80% roller. Tires seem to be pretty soft, pretty nice. I think these will do good in a hard pack with like a loose top. These are just open cell foams, which is not a good thing. We may have to replace those, but the tires overall look pretty decently. They kind of look like a Pro Line bow tie type of tire. And then finally, we do have the actual roller. This thing comes pretty much all assembled from the factory. And it's nice to see that you have something almost ready to run out of the box. And there is the Hobao Hyper VS. Pretty decent out of the box, I've got to say. I mean, just looking at some of the specs here and some of the parts that, you know, already have aluminum on them. They appear to be hard anodized in certain places, but right here, first off, let's take a look at the body. Just a clear Lexan shell. It does have that kind of like little front tip right there that's already molded in. So we do have some overspray foam. Got to paint this thing up with some pretty cool colors and call it a day on the body. Right here in the very front, we do have like a traditional caster block setup. It doesn't ride on like pivot balls or anything odd or fancy like that, but we do have huge 17mm big bore shocks. We do have aluminum bodies, aluminum caps. There are plastic eyelets up here at the top, but already boots inside. The spring rate feels pretty good. They're already filled with oil everything feels nice right out of the box. Moving around here to the front, we are riding on universal drive shafts here on the front of the Buggy. We do have some aluminum hinge pin holders, at least here on the very front. Aluminum shock towers, these do appear to be stamped aluminum, so you're not going to find real high-end CNC'd aluminum shock towers. But one nice note that I saw here was we have a black shock holder and a silver one notating right-hand thread and left-hand thread, which is pretty nice. That's only things that you see in higher-end buggies. Looking on top of the Buggy, we do have an aluminum plate right here just to keep everything nice and secure. Everything's pretty much assembled as far as the steering horn and steering linkage. Just have to mount your steering servo onto this. Now you gotta admit the radio box is quite tall and rather large. This little antenna thing may have to go as well, but as we get here to the center differential, this thing is huge. I mean, a very large differential on this 8-scale Buggy, which is very well appreciated. I know Hobao does an excellent job of their differentials. We are having a steel spur gear right here, so it'll be a little bit loud, especially if you're in an indoor environment. As we get to the rear of the Buggy, we are riding on dog bones in the rear, so a little bit of a cost savings there versus the universals on the front. We do have very stout turnbuckles throughout, both front, rear, and steering. These shock bodies, once again, aluminum, shock caps are aluminum, very long shocks here in the rear, which is pretty nice. Huge shock tower as well. And we do have front and rear sway bars that are already pre-assembled, pre-set up, ready to go. The motor mount is definitely top quality. This is a CNC'd aluminum item, so high quality item to mount your motor up to. Taking a look at the underside of the Hyper VS, this thing is definitely quality. Nice aluminum chassis throughout, has kind of like a tapered section right here going up to the front. Nice little kick up on the front, so nice geometry, and overall this will be a nice addition for a budget build. Well guys, that is my quick little look at the Hyper VS from Hobao. Also, nice little announcement here of the budget build. I can't wait to get this thing started. Show you some of the parts that are going into this to keep it in that budget. Now, as far as a budget, I've kind of set it to right around 600 bucks. So we want to get this thing full up and running and be pretty competitive out there on a track. So with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and also the budget series. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see done with this budget series. I'm open for almost any commentary on it, whether it's a giveaway or if you want to see it really bashed hard or raced or whatever you'd like to do. Comment down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.